What are you
So,
doing, Internet?
sorry about that. So with that, as you're standing there, a this is weird. Sorry. So anyway, sorry, my computer was twitching for a second. So with that, as you're standing there, a figure starts walking around from behind the bonfire. And it looks like a rather large man in Roman armor. And as he steps around, the fire is kind of blinding and kind of reflecting off the armor. And as it's all beat up and bent and very much battle worn. And as he steps across, the light hits his face. A little bit of it can be seen through the helmet, and you see it seems to be desiccated, and it's got glowing pinpoint green points of light for eyes. And as he points out his hand, and just says, "Die." And Darren, you see Kennedy collapse the ground, and Dale collapse the ground, and Killian collapse the ground.
I would like to draw my hammer and attack the weaver or the butcher.
Make me a gnosis roll.
Oh no, I don't. I'm taking another dice out of the pool.
You can take more than one if you want.
I think this.
None of us are conscious to stop you.
I'm taking two. I'm taking two.
That seems wise.
What's the difficulty of this Gnosis roll? Gnosis is not my strong suit.
Diff 6.
3 successes.
Okay.
And with that, you just reach down mentally into, and you just feel a pulse go down your arms and into the handle of the hammer, and then shoot down like lightning through the handle into the heart of the hammer. And as it does, all of you hear a giant earth-shattering howl roar, wolf roar, go off. Howl. And as you do, as you hear it, you realize, Darren, you do it, and it roars up, and it's the hammer that's actually physically roaring as you pull it back. And as you do, you lift it up. You see that your pack's all standing behind you, perfectly fine, and there's no sign of the butcher. And as you feel it vibrating in your hand, you've realized you've linked to the hammer. The hammer actually has the pack. It's basically got a pack of a spirit, the wolf pack that fell. His initial pack is actually sworn to this hammer.
Oh man.
Retribution has the ability known as Righteous Fury. The packet, the hammer itself, basically is a rage battery. It stores rage in it, and that rage that you can tap into to perform extra actions. And it is it does strength +2 aggravated damage.
Awesome. What when you say rage battery, does it mean I can pour rage into it and it does things?
It basically means
or it can pour rage into me.
It can pour rage. You can tap in. It has rage belt. You can tap into the rage of the pack that's in the hammer, and so it's basically got extra rage points that you can tap into.
That's so cool. If the ghosts are still there, I would
Sort of.
I would like to turn to them and say that the quest for their retribution has fallen to me, and I will not falter from the path. I will continue avenging you as my ancestor did.
And you know that the butcher is the one who actually they fell battling the butcher.
I will butcher the butcher.
So
I will drive him screaming from this plane of existence, never to return.
So with that, the Rite Master will conclude the rite, and you have awakened the hammer. And yes, you do have the German name, but actually the translation is retribution. Just if you want the English version.
I'm writing it both down.
So with that, the Rite Master will conclude the rite, and as she concludes the rite, she does approach Dell and Kennedy and speaks. I would like a moment of Kennedy. I would like a moment of your time, if you don't mind. And Dell, I do know that one of the elder theurgists would like to speak with you. If you have time this evening.
Okay.
So with that, I know we were having some little internet glitches and stuff, but it is about time for us to take our first break. So it might be a good time to do that at this moment. So.
All right. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for waiting. We ran out to Karen and picked up some refreshments and recharged their batteries.
Waffle House for everyone.
The pack is up at Finger Lakes Seps up in New York, upstate New York, as a Black Fury Sep, where they're currently just completed a ritual, a rite to help awaken Darren's powerful hammer and learning some of its history and its actual formal name. So,
Darren's silver hammer came down upon their heads.
And so with that, the rite concluded, the Rite Master did pull Kennedy aside and said that she would like to speak with her privately. And told Dell that one of the elder theurgists of the tribe of the Sept is actually looking for her, looking for him as well. And has basically said that that theurge is off towards the edge of the woods over that direction, and pointed you the direction in a direction south of where you're at right now.
Okay. No, that's easy. Yeah. I can go in. I'm sure I can go and find them.
So, as the Rite Master pulls something aside, I've recently learned of some of your family history.
I'm in a similar position.
Nice.
I do hope I am not overstepping, but it does sound like your family line has well, like many, I'm sure, of the Fianna kin, have ties to the other neighboring tribes of that region, specifically the Get and the Fangs, and it's sounded like the White Howlers.
That's what I've been told, and have had confirmed in other ways that that legacy is in there for me. which is a wee bit complicated.
So, um, there's something that we would like to show you
All right.
if you're so inclined.
I'm always willing to look on something new
So,
or something old, as the case may be.
and with that, she will lead you off and to a small area away from the sept, and it looks like there are small little stones and small trees and the stuff like and the like planted around the area, and there's some small piles of stone. And as you look, there are different glyphs marked into the stone and into the trees and into some of the other natural surrounding. And there's a wall, a big stone boulder that's actually been kind of flat. That's a kind of a flat-ish on one side, and it's got dozens and dozens of glyphs carved into it, which you would suspect are deed names. And you realize that this is the where they honor their fallen. And there is a small stone that's probably about 1.5 feet, 2 feet, a little over 1.5 feet, almost 2 feet tall, that's carved, and there are 3 glyphs carved on the various sides of it. One is the white holler glyph, one is the Croatan glyph, and one is the bunyik glyph.
Okay. So those are the lost tribes.
This is where we remember those who've fallen, whether it's our individual pack mates or sept mates or tribes in total that have been lost to Gaia. Um, and with that, she's like, she kind of looks at you and says, this seemed to be the appropriate place to show you this. Daphne, and she calls it over her shoulder, Daphne, and a young girl kind of comes walking towards her direction. She's probably about 12, maybe 13, just kind of wearing a t-shirt and jeans, barefoot. As she comes over, she's carrying what appears to be a wooden box, a handcrafted wooden box. It's about 6 to 8 inches wide and about 14, 16 inches long. It seems much bigger in her hands until she gets close, because then you the little scale. She's kind of a small petite girl for her age.
Uh-huh.
And the right master takes that from the girl, and this recently came into our possession. And she opens the box, and inside the box is a bundle wrapped in cloth, with like a simple cotton rag. And as she unwraps it, you see glints of silver, and you see a clave. And on the clave, you see various glyphs, but the one that immediately jumps out to you is the glyph for the white howler. This was recovered in a battle up north. After a pack stopped various agents of the worm from awakening one of the 5 great talons of the worm.
Kennedy
This is
just
kinda- she kind of looks at you like a knowing look on her face.
yeah, and Kennedy just kind of looks at it and kind of bites her lip and goes, "Thought I recognized that thing. We took it off of one of the spirals that we killed while we were there."
And we have done many cleansing rites and rituals on this clave. And some of the other artifacts that we recovered from that battle. But it didn't seem that this should go to anyone until we heard that you were the one who recovered it to begin with, and that your family line has ties to the Howlers. And while there'll never be another White Howler tribe, it seems appropriate that no matter how distant the relative, it should go to one of the family.
You honor me.
Mother Larissa speaks highly of you and your pack.
We're a weird little band, but we seem to be getting the job done.
That seems to be the tale of our age.
The mother hopefully knows what she's doing.
Do you we have spoken to the elders of the Sept, and if you wish to claim this clave, we will back your claim. And I know that I also speak for Mother Larissa and the Sept of the Green.
Kennedy will reach forward and take the clave. And I'm assuming that we're still right by the rock that had the glyphs on it.
Yep, she did that on purpose.
Kennedy will take the clave with her right hand, and holding her left hand out is going to just cut herself across the palm, and drips blood down onto the stone, and says, "I will honor the sacrifices of those who came before me in Gaia's name."
In Gaia's name. And you are now a owner of a clave.
Woo!
So
The third clave to pass through Kennedy's hands, although it's also the first one.
this one is not on loan either.
Right.
Meanwhile, elsewhere in the Sept, Dale is tromping through the woods. Tromp, 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 tromp. And as you kind of go into this little near the edge of where you were, into the wooded area where you were directed towards, the woods are significantly darker. While the light of the full moon is shining out down upon the Sept, it is definitely shadows cast across the forest.
Mhm.
And as you are going through the woods, you hear someone up ahead. "This way, young one."
will kind of bark a greeting and head forward.
And as you approach, you see an elderly Lupus. The Lupus has a rather matted and ruffled fur. And there are numerous scars across their face and snout. They're missing little tiny little bits out of their ear. Their tail has seen better days. One arm is partially mangled. It looks like it went through a meat grinder, um, and you can tell by the scarring that these were either done by blades of silver or fire or the teeth and claws of some supernatural beasts, because they'll have left a lasting mark on this poor Lupus.
So Del kind of, well, I guess in Lupus, it's just kind of a lowering of the head, but it's a greeting of respect. Clearly, this is certainly my elder. I am Del Speak Softly of the Trail Mix Pack.
I have foreseen your coming, young one.
Okay.
I am distant shores of the children of Gaia. It was a name given to me by our Ragabash. For my thoughts always just seem to be to the next horizon, which kind of lifts the one paw up that's kind of mangled, sometimes blinded to me to the here and now, and I've paid for it. Your pack has encountered many strange things.
Many strange things.
As the Lupus gets a little closer to you, kind of sits back on its back legs, kind of pulls back its right paw, forward paw, and pulls it up to like its chin, and then with blinding speed, pretty much thumps you in the forehead with its paw. Thwack! And as it does, you see momentarily, just ever so briefly, New York City. Buildings tumbled over, fire raging across the city, cars destroyed and scattered across the roads. And it looks like a bomb has gone off across the entire city. The skies are blood red. Billows of black smoke just kind of come up from everywhere. And high above, amongst the clouds, you can briefly see glinting overhead a red star. And it's that fast. And then you're sitting right where you were with the theurge in front of you. And as you're sitting there, he draws on the ground a strange glyph. Which looks like a a 4-pointed compass rose with a spiral coming out from the center of it.
What is this?
This is what I've foreseen. The eye of the worm, the red star. When the eye of the worm opens, the final battle calls will be heard across the world. It's not awakened yet, but it will awaken soon.
What
When
will
it
we do?
does, the child who should not be, that cannot be, the child of sin without the stain of sin, will be born, marking the beginning of the end, unless the Guru can come together as one nation and stand against it. When this happens, the great heralds of the worm will once again walk the land. The children of the devourer of souls and the rest of the worm will rise up. That is when the ones your pack has encountered before and encountered again will arise. The butcher, the courtesan, the deacon, the worm bringer, known as the herald, and their master.
And their master is the eater of souls.
The child of the eater of souls.
How long?
It's hard to say. The farther out, the more difficult it begins. Various strands and threads are being pulled by the weaver to slow and hasten this simultaneously. It's tugging with itself. But your pack must start vigil for when they do awaken. And when the worm of the eye of the worm opens, you must hunt for them before they can gather their strength.
How will we know?
It will be seen in the Umbra before it is seen in the lands of man. There are others who stand vigil, searching for the eye. It is not awakened yet, but it will. There are some that don't heed the call. And they're too busy amongst themselves fighting to listen. But I wanted to make sure I shared this with you while I had the moment and had the time.
You honor me. We
Your
will keep watch.
Gaia has chosen your pack for some reason. I do believe that I do hope that you can do what must be done when it needs to be done.
will do what we must. We have done that before.
So with that, you should probably return to your pack.
Yes. Thank you.
Meanwhile, and the rest of the sept, Killian and Darren are enjoying a nice evening. There are drinks to be had. There is music to be had. They are celebrating a great day. I mean, there's a little bit of a downer because, well, the hammer was forged in in honor of those who were slain, but it is now in the hands of a great gut warrior who's going to basically use it to honor Gaia and use it to honor the pack. So that of old who fell.
Hell yeah.
So while the two of you are enjoying drinks and festivities, eventually Kennedy and Dale will make their way to join the pack. So
I will feast and drink and be merry.
So you're celebrating.
Darren's gonna try to flirt with the little blonde-haired German chick, but I don't think she's into him.
awesome. Yeah. So the evening will go on splendidly. And unless anyone has anything else that they specifically would like to accomplish or touch base with any of the other pack members, the evening will go on and have a nice party-like atmosphere.
Oh, I suppose Dale will eventually have to tell everybody, but not tonight.
Okay. Yeah, if Dell doesn't pull us aside, then Kennedy's gonna Kennedy.
Yeah.
Kennedy's got a Kennedy.
And, get her drink on and her dance on, and as long as there is music playing, she will be dancing by the fire.
Awesome.
And if any of her pack happens to notice that she's carrying a clave again, then they can notice it.
And she's packing heat again.
To be fair, Riverdale, she never stopped packing heat.
That's right, she just gave me her heat so she could get another one.
Hey, I can take
So, so with that, the pack proceeds to have a festive evening. The following morning, they awaken shortly after dawn-ish, depending on some earlier than others. Kennedy and awakens outside on the porch. Not quite sure how you got to the porch. You don't remember that part of the evening. You look over, you see Darren also only made it to the porch, not inside. Darren is mostly in a state of distress, of undress, and there might be a German heavy metal band t-shirt lying nearby.
Rock and roll.
No, heavy metal. Totally different genre.
Very much so. Okay. Am I still dressed?
Mostly.
Okay.
I mean, you're like missing a shoe and you're not quite sure where it's at and things like that, but yeah.
Okay. Just making sure that I wasn't the one who got drunk and slept with him, then I don't care.
Is this? You say this is the following morning?
Yes.
Oh, then yes. Dale will make a point of greeting the sun. Extra.
Yes.
Well, that's how we wake up.
Yes.
Closely enough that it's you gotta greet the sun.
We're werewolves. Howl at the moon.
That's not how we do this. I mean, well, yes, it is.
But yeah, so the pack, is awakened by Dell doing his morning ritual of greeting the sun, and yeah.
Oh, fuck, right off with that. Um,
Salute the sun.
Meanwhile, Killian had the cabin to himself and slept great.
He's like sprawled out across 3 beds. Yeah,
I pushed them together.
on the blanket fort.
Some people have a California king. This is a California threesome.
I'm pretty sure.
That's an entirely different thing.
I would,
Something,
Yeah, I don't-
something Californication.
And that, yeah, that was much more of a Devin Mayfair kind of situation. But yeah. So Darren, you slowly awaken to the horrible sound of the worst traffic. I mean, not traffic. What's the howling? Who? What? Dog? No, it's your freaking pack mate.
He does not sleep in.
And yeah, you're buck naked with a conveniently placed T-shirt to make this a PG-rated morning after scene.
Couldn't find one of those L-shaped sheets from the sitcoms.
No.
Kennedy just kind of looks over and goes, "Nice mole.
Am I hungover? I don't think I've been
A little
hungover
bit.
in a while.
Yes, you are.
I could teach you a trick to help with that, but honestly, it's more amusing to watch you suffer."
That's fair.
As Kennedy immediately activates her resist toxins gift, and
I need something greasy. I need breakfast for breakfast.
So with that, yeah, the pack eventually you manage to collect yourselves. Thanks to you being Guru, eventually your hangover doesn't last nearly as long as it should, but it lasts long enough to remind you that while you are Guru, you're still a little bit human.
Sobering, really.
Yeah, and the pack is all together. And yeah, unless there's something else that you'd like to accomplish, you're welcome to head back to New York and then indirectly make your way to
London.
To London.
well, assuming you got her phone number, then I can't see any reason that we should stick around.
Yeah, Darren will take her phone number. She'll give it to him.
No, there's no one else around. It's
Oh.
just the pack. You wake up alone.
That's fine.
That's okay. There's like a Guru glyph carved into one of the trees nearby. It's like the universal Guru symbol for like, I'll call you. New Karen, who dis?
Oh, it's fine. It was fun. I haven't had fun in a long time.
So with that,
There's a lot of very nice looking kinfolk girls I could hook you up with.
I'm here for that. Well, we can talk about that when we get home.
Kennedy immediately starts coming up with matchmaking ideas.
And eventually the pack has gathered their stuff and proceeds to make their way back to New York City via Moonbridge. Later that evening, they'll open a Moonbridge. They'll be able to jump back to New York City. And from New York City, they'll be able to send you to the Will of Ta, which is the biggest Moonbridge hub. It actually connects tons and tons of other SEPs across the world. And from there, you can basically jump to a small moon bridge up to England. and you arrive in a small little sept in north of London, in a small wooded area.
So, Killian,
Yes.
do you know where we're actually looking for your gun?
It's at its own old home address. So all we have to do is either break and entering or fake a visit.
Right, easy enough.
We'll just say we're with the constable or the queen or whoever gives them authority these days.
Sherlock Holmes.
Right, I just wanted to make sure that we had a little bit more than somewhere in all of London.
That's fair.
At some point during all this hopping, London Calling was being played as the montage, but we don't have the rights to use that, so yeah, fill it in yourself.
More like London's copyright.
We could have gone with Werewolves of London.
Actually, I would have totally been on board with that. I like the French.
Hey,
So
do a mashup of the two.
Okay, so you put ideas like that in my head, bad things happen.
This is the
By
Riverdale episode where we all start singing the songs.
and by bad we mean awesome.
Right.
So with that, yeah, we have four American werewolves in London.
Yay! Woo!
Right. I'm not.
Oh yeah, 3 American werewolves and an Irish werewolf.
Well, no.
Yeah, is Kennedy a naturalized citizen, or is she?
No, she.
No.
Nope,
Irish. Yeah, because you weren't here during season 1. No, she's Irish. She was in America because the World Championships were in New York.
I was aware that she was Irish. Obviously, the accent is unmistakable, and yeah, I wasn't sure if she'd actually
Right.
to what degree she had Americanized.
No. She is a citizen of Dublin who was believed dead after her first change happened while she was at the Nationals in New York City.
Ah, yes.
So, although my mom is still alive in Dublin and looking for me.
So
Actually, I don't know why we're laughing at that. That's actually probably not very nice for her.
That's real sad.
No, it's terrible, but
That's why we're laughing, because it's terrible.
you gotta laugh so you don't cry.
There's a lot of milk cartons with Kennedy's face on them in Dublin, is all we're saying.
But we're in London, not Dublin, so it's fine.
it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing to say.
Anyhow, right. So I'm just gonna keep my app shut and let you find where we're going.
And all we have to do is follow the GPS. The only problem is that he had a family, and they might still be living in the old family house, so we got to be careful.
They're your family too, right?
Technically speaking, yes.
If they're kinfolk, then you could probably just tell them.
It's the fun part. We don't know.
Let's go find out. Let's just rock up and say, hey, we're here to pick up a family heirloom.
Oh, this is going to be amazing.
Isn't it?
It's me,
So-
your American cousin. I'm here to loot the castle.
So
Yeah, Kennedy's sitting here going, this is going to be an incredible song, whether it's a farce or a tragedy, I'm not sure yet. But
So with that, the pack makes their way south into London town, and thanks to Killian and his GPS, he's plugged in the address, and it's like, I don't need to know where it is. I just need to know to follow the directions on the map.
I have a right that can do this. Don't care. GPS. Okay.
90% of Killian's powers are just, I live in the 21st century.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
90% of Dell's personality is I don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the modern American werewolf.
Brought
He's
to
a
you
very
by
model of a
Bing.
modern American. So, with that, yeah, you're able to track your way through the streets of London to a small neighborhood of quiet row houses that have been here for several hundred years, probably.
And so I'll walk up and knock on the old door.
So,
Knick, knack, knock.
it is late in the evening when you arrive. And Killian's just going to walk up to the door. Are the other three of you flanking him or hanging back, or what are you doing?
I'm resisting the urge to say NYPD open up.
Kennedy is hanging back.
I'll hang back.
Unless Killian asks for company, no, I'll hang back as well.
Are you actually in Hamid and wearing pants?
Oh, that is not a simple question, is it?
Nope.
I mean, we probably would have strongly encouraged it before we actually left the set to go walk around.
It's weird because it would be. I think it would just be a little too weird. So yes, he's rather uncomfortably dressed and in helmet form.
And you now actually have clothes that have been dedicated to you. So you have like.
What does Dell's Hamid form look like?
In my mind, he looks kind of like Ryan Gosling in Drive, but like he doesn't have like this cool jacket or anything. He's just like very quiet and smiles faintly a lot. Yeah, which would be Ryan Gosling in pretty much anything now that I think about it. But you know what the hell? I like Ryan Gosling. I like quiet Ryan Gosling. That's where he gets people.
I heard that as Quiet Riot Gosling. So yeah. So Killian goes up. Darren's kind of flanking behind him a little bit as he knocks on the door. Doom, 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 doom. And several moments later, the door opens up and a rather frazzled looking woman opens the door. You're not who I thought you were.
Oh no. Oh no, Mom. We got a report about you having a legal file in the house, so we're here to check your permit.
She just kind of looks at you like, huh?
Your permit, Mom.
Whoever thought this was funny failed, and she kind of just goes to shut the door.
Well, I'll knock again.
Several moments later, she opens the door back up. She's like, "Go away, or I'll call the real cops."
I'm very sorry, but I wasn't sure how to approach the situation. I'm not good with family. But I'm a long removed cousin of Vance Gilbert.
She's kind of, okay.
And I just came to see if I could speak to somebody about a family heirloom that he might have had.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell?
Nope. Sure you got the right house?
I'll check the GPS. Jonesy, I'm at the right house.
Yes, you're at the right location. Yes, as far as you're aware, you're at the right location.
Yeah, pretty sure I'm at the right location. Do you not know the Gilberts?
No. We bought this house like 15 years ago. Yeah.
Oh,
I have, yeah.
that's
I
very awkward.
can't help you. She goes to close the door.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Could you help me for money?
Oh dear God.
And click, she shuts the door, and you hear the latch getting put on. Click, click.
Well,
Your
They don't
relatives
know.
aren't very nice.
no.
I'll go up and stand next to Riverdale. And I'll knock on the door this time.
We're
I
gonna
thought you were gonna pull out a boombox and it was.
we're gonna end up in the
Gabriel.
paddy wagon. We've been in London for 10 minutes.
I'm going to need a perception and alertness rolls from both of you. Difficulty 8.
Like, there are other approaches than this suicidal one. Just so you know.
We're just trying to be neighborly. We just moved in or something.
Well, I got 2 successes. I'm about to get
Hey,
shot in
Daniel.
the head.
I have a roll 20 complication right now. Let's see if I can get there. Come on, roll 20. You said difficulty 8?
Yes.
Ooh, I have -1 success.
Kennedy is just going to lean over to Dell. I'm willing to bet you actually know the rights of the Questing Stone, don't you?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
No.
No.
So as you're looking, Darren, because of the way he's standing, he can peek through the window a little bit and kind of see what's going on. You see that she's picked up a cell phone and she's dialing the cell phone. You're pretty positive she's probably calling the cops.
Ma'am, please don't call the police.
This is how we defuse situations in America.
Ma'am.
This.
I just need a moment of your time. I'm sorry for my friend's approach.
This is going to end in violence, you know.
And with that, she is walked out of the hallway where you can see her, and she's heading to the back part of the house.
Do you know exactly where this thing is in the house, Killian?
I don't
Gentlemen,
remember.
perhaps we should all go take a walk.
Yeah, let's take a walk. Let's take a pass.
Down the street, there was a shop with tea that had a very shiny mirror. Maybe we should go there and talk about what we do next.
Oh yeah, we could turn invisible. Travel through dimensions.
But I love harassing pedestrians in my free time.
Yeah, sometimes, you know.
I was gonna see if we could knock this door down and you can find the gun before the police show up.
I don't particularly like the idea of getting involved with the police in London.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
How many different ways do you think an interrogation involving Dell could possibly go wrong?
This random middle-aged woman with her kids in college. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's go.
Well, Dell's not going to be able to lie worth a damn.
No.
Alright, let's get out of here. Let's be back.
I'm an Irish girl in London. I don't
You
particularly
don't wanna be-
fancy my odds in.
Exactly.
And you think they're going to take kindly to the Americans? Yeah.
I'm a cop.
With Americans with no paper.
They'll probably
They-
assume you're armed.
Yeah, they thought we
They
walked over
assume
here.
correctly.
There's a reason for that. They are.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's that.
I've got a
We didn't
357
exactly
Magnum in my pants.
We didn't exactly go through the TSA. They're carrying their guns.
Yeah.
This is going to go so swimmingly.
Alright, let's get out of here. Come on, guys.
Not to mention the hammer and the mystic dagger.
Yeah.
Oh,
Veil breach, veil breach, veil breach for 100, Bob.
I'm a cosplayer. I'm not breaching the veil.
And the other Mystic Dagger, actually, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm not Fat Thor. That's who I'm cosplaying.
Actually, Darren could totally pull off a Thor cosplay.
I'm gonna have to
Where?
the next time we want to use the hammer in public.
Yeah.
It's Were Thor. Opposed to Frog Thor or so.
And it's 100% buying you a blonde wig. She's gonna braid it, and
I'm gonna be so beautiful.
So Kennedy and Dale do their best to wrangle up Darren and Killian, drag them down the street.
It's mostly Kennedy. Dell is not very convincing.
And as you're getting out of sight, you see that the woman is peeking out her curtain in that direction, and she is definitely on the phone, and she's holding a knife.
That's
That is an
illegal.
awful. Is she brandishing her knife out the window at us?
No, she's got the knife in her hand. She's using the hand to kind of pull back the curtain just a little bit to peek outside, which is why you can see it.
Constable, these American men terrorized me.
Pretty
I'm about to
much.
call the police on her. She's got a knife.
I shan't stand for this. I have seen funny games.
So
So yes, we're going to go get some tea. Actually, well, hell.
the
Yes,
tea
well-
was just an excuse to get to somewhere where there's a mirror.
Yeah, pretty much.
So down the street there is a set of shops. There's a neighborhood pub and a few other stores and restaurants and stuff. It is a quiet weekday evening, so there are people about, but it's not hugely busy. Like I said, it's more of a side neighborhood, so it's relatively quiet. So you are out of sight of the house, and therefore of the woman that you freaked out, and holding the knife is out of sight.
Were we able to confirm that she is not kinfolk through that encounter?
Not really, no.
She bought the house
Was-
15 years ago.
We can't smell that on her, right? Like, we can't smell who's a kin.
There's a specific gift that would let us do it, but I don't think any of us knows it.
She smelled of distress.
It's my
Oh,
favorite Old
it's,
Spice flavor.
Let's hold hands with Dell and go under.
Oh. Yeah, when we'll find out. Do we actually? Well, being in the Umbra, I suppose, means we don't have to deal with the police.
Hopefully.
Not unless they're the Umbra police.
Then yes, I suppose we'll find out. Oh, they're waiting for me to. Did we?
Well-
because if we go in the pub, basically, or something like that, then well, the easiest mirror to access is probably going to be the one in the bathroom, which means Kennedy would probably have to make her own roll, well, unless she just decided to go into the men's room with the rest of us.
Yeah, we all need to go to the. We're tourists. We don't know how bathrooms work.
I also don't particularly care if these people think that I'm a tramp. Let's all just walk into the bathroom together.
Okay.
Yeah, it works for me.
Not ever
We're
gonna.
not out in 15 minutes. Sends reinforcements.
Didn't mean we needed to call attention to the fact.
Dell literally does not know what any of those words mean, so it's okay.
What are social keys?
If your erection lasts longer than 4 hours, send
That
more
is an
babies.
entirely out of character bit of sleep.
I know. I figured.
Dell does not do sleep.
So
So then I'm actually, this is me stalling again, trying to get to my Gnosis tab so that I can. Oh, what is the
The
gauntlet difficulty?
the gauntlet in this pub will be 7.
That's actually surprisingly low.
If I have a couple of drinks first, would it be like 5? No.
No.
Oh, darn.
It,
That's not how the gauntlet works.
Oh, crap. Yeah, 8, 9, and a pair of 1s.
We'll get lost in the Umbra in this toilet.
No, we just kind of don't get through, I don't think.
Yeah, it's only a botch that you get stuck.
Yeah. That's an oops.
What's going on, Del? Where are we going?
I think the gauntlet seems thick here. Very,
gauntlet's
very
stuck.
thick.
Can you try again? Before someone starts knocking, asking to use the loo?
I can, sure, I can try again. Sorry, it's not actually, you're not spending gnosis to do that. It's just a gnosis roll.
Correct.
If the storyteller will allow me to make another, hopefully less pathetic roll, then I will totally do it again and spend a willpower.
You can totally roll again. It's going to be difficulty 8.
Yeah, but I spent the willpower already. You heard me say I spent willpower, so there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, yeah, by that time I got 3 successes, of course.
Hell yeah.
So,
Sweet.
Yeah, we zipped through.
So there was, as Kennedy's like, hurry up before someone starts knocking. There's a bang, bang, bang on the door.
We're the worst
And-
tourists ever.
Del
Or
suppresses the urge
American
to start
tourists.
barking.
And as we cross over, Kennedy will call out, "Come on in."
Somebody is gonna have the best story.
And with that, the 4 of you have slipped sideways out of the haunted pub. There wasn't stories about the pub being haunted before now, but now there are. Apparently, it's haunted by a small Irish girl.
And 3 perverts.
Legend says this is the orgy ghost of Dublin.
She lures the men into the bathroom and destroys
That
their
makes them
souls.
vanish.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Congratulations.
This is Bloody Mary's cousin, Horny Carrie.
Congratulations, you have now become an urban legend.
Well, that one's coming off my bucket list now.
So
That's what
the
he's
4 of you are now in an old in the Umber in an old Irish pub.
Oh, we didn't think that.
Sorry, old English pub.
Wow, this place has been here long enough to actually have a reflection. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it actually has. It's as you exit the room into the rest of the pub, the interior of the pub no longer looks like it's bad 70s sports bar, but looks like it's an old, actually turn of the century pub.
You know, the Umbra in Europe probably has a lot more buildings in it than the Umbra in America.
Yep.
Probably, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Kennedy will pluck a hair and grab a pebble from the ground and hand them to Dell and say, "Do your thing."
Oh. Yeah, I can do that. So, it's amusingly enough. I have the book open for these systems.
Mhm.
All it says is standard roll.
It's a mystic rite, so it is wits plus rituals, just difficulty 7.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I also have the book in front of me.
You were looking at the right part of it. So, wait a minute. Where was we? You said wits and occult?
Rituals.
No, rituals. Duh. Yes.
Difficulty 7, unless otherwise stated. If you had a piece of the item or individual, then the difficulty would drop by 1. But
Okay.
since you don't have part of the gun,
Sadly, no.
We both reach for the gun.
Oh yes,
Our hands-
Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes.
oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
It was coming.
Let's reach for the gun.
can you tell that several of us are theater people?
Yeah, Del got 6 successes. Everything was a success. They are all
Wow.
successes.
It's understandable.
Damn, son.
And with that, Del knows exactly where the gun is. You two, like, you know,
I hope
it
it's
is-
in her bedroom, like under a pillow.
Yeah. So that to the point where you know exactly like it's 16 paces to the east, and and
Crawl, crawl, stagger, stagger.
3 feet below where you're currently standing. That kind
Oh,
of
right
stuff.
on. Yeah, I could. Yeah, that seems to be. I completely forgotten that I have that in addition to the usual suite of tracking. So
It's a great right.
it's really good.
So with that, you're able to you leave the pub, and Dell is holding a small stone suspended by a piece of hair, and it's kind of doing the whole compass needle, pointing towards the direction you need to go in, and it leads you back down the street. There is an umbral reflection of the street. There are umbral reflections of the buildings, and this is an older neighborhood. It's been here, well, since the Industrial Revolution. The streets in the Umbra are cobblestone, not paved. And along the rows of the street, you see what would be hitches for horses and carriages that aren't there in the mundane world. You don't see any of the modern day signage or any of that stuff, but you do see several street lamps, which are all the old style gaslight lamps. And as you make your way down the street, you make your way back to the brownstone house, and it is in the Umbra as well. As you are making your way down, you do see various spirits scurrying around, small little ones here and there. You see small little blue birds flying back and forth. You see bats kind of occasionally intercepting them and taking them down. And you see little tiny spiders scurrying around, and rats and other umbral reflections of, well, Weaver and Wild activity.
Just make our way in.
I was gonna say, Riverdale, this is your rodeo. However you want to handle
Yeah, I
this.
mean, so I guess we're following. I get to lead. I get to lead the way on 2 legs now.
I guess we can humbly try the front door for a 4th time.
I don't know. She deadbolted in the real world. Maybe it's still locked here.
Nah,
We'll see.
I'll jiggle the old log cabin hammer.
So as you walk up to the front, like I said, it's a solid reflection in the Umbra. There is a door here as well. And Dell was in the lead. As you approach the house, Killian, are you taking the lead, or are you still falling behind Dell? Or
I'm walking next to Dell when you say it like that.
okay. So, who's trying the front door?
I'll try it with my robot hand.
You try the front door, and it feels solid, doesn't want to give.
Oh. Hey, Darren.
You got it. I'll break the door down.
Yeah, get your lockpick over here.
Yeah. It's a wooden door. You could just turn Krynos and turn the damn knob.
I've got a hammer. I'm gonna hammer it down.
He seems excited to use his hammer. He doesn't know how to use it.
All right, but if you hammer the door down, then in the real world, in the physical world, the woman's going to start finding rot in the door, and it's going to need to be replaced, and you're going to cause an incredible inconvenience for her. It would be much easier if she just has to replace the lock.
It would
She
be
could've
much
let
easier
us
if she'd have let
in.
us in the house. She caused a great inconvenience to me.
Kennedy, the more you kept talking, the more you could just see them decide to do this.
The other option is Killian does have gifts that will allow him to open the door.
Right? We don't have to.
Break anything.
Darren's excited to use his hammer. We just went to the doctor and got it fixed.
You know what? No, never mind. This task is not worthy of retribution. Go
The
ahead.
hammer wants blood. No, excuse me. Pardon me.
Fine.
The hammer
Because
demands
Kennedy-
chlorophyll.
Because Kennedy has explained that I can give this woman wall rot. I'll go ahead and shift into Krynos and crack that puppy open.
You are really gonna do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Killian's anything. He's aggressively passive aggressive.
Aggressively passive aggressive.
That's not. That's not very passive.
She better hope her coffee pot doesn't have an umbral reflection. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, she's lucky I'm here in the background, not in the foreground.
Oh God. God.
It's the new Getter Fenris, the new Glasswalker gift. Aggressively passively aggressive.
This,
Yeah.
this gift is taught to you by a Karen spirit.
I will Krynos crank the lock until it gives.
So shift into Krynos and make me a strength check.
Oh, the door is
Demand
real.
danger.
Where is my strength? Strength and athletics.
I wonder what that sounds like in the physical world.
And if you want, you can do it as a feat of strength.
That seems questionable. How do I do it as a feat of strength?
So
It's a willpower check, isn't it?
I
yes,
mean,
it
this is a door, not a car, so I don't know if the steps track.
So yeah, it would be a willpower check.
I'm very willing as a person. I'll do that.
Difficulty 8.
Well, my last resort will be my heritage. I swear. The door's not giving.
Well, no, that was yeah. So what is your normal strength
My strength is
in Krynos?
In Krynos, I have a +4 on top of my 2, so I have a 6 total.
Okay. So yeah, with that, that's enough that you don't need to do a feat of strength. You don't need to overkill it, but with that, you reach up and you grab and twist, and you hear a grinding of metal and pop, and with that, the door swings open.
I'm real lucky I like my uncle. I'm not gonna trash his house to get back at this later.
It leads into a small little entry area. From here, there's a hallway leading back to the back part of the house. Up front, there's a sitting area. There's also a set of stairs going up.
Okay, Del, where is it?
Where's it? Where's the gun? Bring me the gun. Who's a good boy? Who's a good? No. But yes. Which way is? Which direction?
You need to go farther into the house and down.
It's in the basement.
Yes, it is down.
Down.
And so you make your way into the kitchen, and off the kitchen there's a door that leads downstairs to a flight of steps that leads down into the basement. In the basement there is, well, it's a basement. It's just an empty, big space.
Is it like a brick-layered wall basement?
Yes. And you see what looks like an old school boiler. With some pipes running off of it.
So if I know my Glasswalker Ragabash, either one of these pipes is fake, it's in there, or it's in one of these bricks that's loose.
And the little small stone that Dell is currently using as his needle for his right is pointing at one of the walls.
The classic. I'll kind of just walk over to the whole wall and put my head against it and just give it like a big thump with my Krynos claw to see if any of the bricks move.
No, none of them move.
Del, is your thing working?
Yeah, as you get closer to the
Yes,
wall,
it's working.
it actually, as you move, it literally is turns slightly to the right. As you move the other direction, it turns slightly to the left. As you move it up, it kind of slowly points down, slowly points up. It's pointing at a specific area, probably about a foot wide. It's got a couple bricks in that area, but they all feel very solid to you, Killian.
Maybe it doesn't have an umbral reflection. Maybe we have to shift back.
It's a fetish. It better have an umbral reflection.
Maybe the lock the fetish is in doesn't have the umbral reflection.
Sure, let's shift back and terrify this poor woman by appearing in our basement.
No, because we'll kill her.
To be fair, we've already terrified her. But
Yeah, but now we're huge monsters.
No, we're not.
No,
I'm a huge monster.
Just
You're a
Killian.
I'm a huge monster.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure. Yeah. Perception, investigation.
Can I
Why?
assist with that?
Sure.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be 6.
I got 2 successes and a fail.
I got 1 success to help out.
So, as you're looking at the wall, yeah, you're pretty sure according to what Dale says, it should be right behind these set of bricks. Your best guess is it may have been a loose brick at some point, but someone's come in and went, "Huh, there's a loose brick. Let me fix that," and fixed it, so it's not loose anymore.
Son of a bitch. Oh
That's
yeah,
selfish.
I don't see any way around this. This lady's gonna get a home remodel. Oh, I will start working my way brick by brick, claw by claw.
Go ahead and make me a Dex and Athletics check.
Oh, it's a booby trap. Dex, athletics. Difficulty 6.
Yes.
Got 7 successes.
dear God.
So with that, Killian's like, yeah, it should be right behind here. Looks like someone bricked it back up. And with that, just takes his claws and basically claws out the mortar between the bricks, and basically dilute and returns it back to, oh look, it's a loose brick state.
They're all loose bricks.
You pull out a couple of the bricks, and inside is a small antique lockbox, which does have a lock on it, which you can literally snap with your hand.
This time I'm gonna roll for the gift.
I'm so annoyed.
It's a nice box. What are you upset about? Just my nose.
We are the danger.
We are the most dangerous thing in the world.
We're the most dangerous thing in the world, but we get stymied by bricks and doors.
You know what's the funniest part is? I got 0 success. So I will go ahead and pretend my power worked, and I will snap it with my little thumb.
You snap it, and inside there is a.
That's
It
just
looks-
makes something better.
It looks like an antique gun belt and a revolver.
There she is, boys. I
And as
remember
you-
it's called Thunder something, right?
You Americans and your guns.
And as you pull the gun out of the holster, it is an antique Colt 6-shooter. It has got the carved pearl handle, and there's a glyph on it for thunder, and there's also a Iron Rider's glyph on it.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Look at this semi-automatic freedom distribution device. The best part is, I'll take off and I'll take my hand and I'll spin the hand in place. I can fan this puppy real quick and just put it here and spin my hand on it.
And you have reclaimed your boomstick.
America.
the house sword of House Riverdale.
So while we're in England, do you guys want to like vacation here, or do we have any business in New York? Like, we can do whatever we want. We're here.
Yeah, maybe we should go see the real Stonehenge.
I want to do that.
Great, let's do that, and then let's get out of here before my mom realizes that I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom's is your mom kinfolk, right?
I'm not entirely certain. I think she probably is, but I'm not actually sure. My first change happened when I was in New York. As far as I know, I think she's... As far as I know, she should think that I'm dead, but she's still looking for me based on the police that kept looking for me in the city, so... I don't really know.
We'll just get you a baseball cap and some sunglasses. Put that thing in a ponytail.
You watch far too many movies.
Oh. Del, can people be smelled in the same continent?
What's a continent?
Continent.
Yes.
What I was missing was a consonant.
Yes. I don't really know how to answer that.
See, Del says you're fine.
Right. Why don't we go ahead and go and look at Stonehenge so you can stop talking about that stupid thing with the cars, and then let's go home.
Yeah. I don't know if this furnace has a real reflection, but I'm going to kick it out of spite.
Cool. And so you kick the furnace in the Umbra, and the pack leaves the home. No, there is no furnace in the real world. It's it's the antique boiler room, boiler for the old Umbra side, but no.
Freddy Krueger's pissed though.
Several hours later, the pack is on their way, leaving the city, having reclaimed Killian's gun that isn't his but was his in a previous life. And the pack makes their way to Stonehenge and does the touristy bit. And then eventually makes their way back to New York City, where they settle in and start during the local rounds. Several months later, they encounter a couple of Black Spiral dancers, an occasional vampire here and there, and deal with just life in New York City. Sometime in the not too distant future, a wolf in Lupus form is high in the mountains, kind of just staring there, contemplating the universe and life and everything in it.
My favorite Lupus, Brian.
And in the Umbra, when ever so faintly there's a red pinpoint of light appear. And that's where we end season 3.
Yay!
Scandalous.
Yeah, so we did end a little early tonight, but not by much. But yeah, you did manage to get through some of all the stuff I had planned for epilogues. So yes, so that wraps up season 3 with the pack well armed for what what eventually will come down the pipeline, which may or may not have be a hint of the end of the world as we know it. Yeah.
Hey, Jonesy, may I do one last thing then for our viewers before we do our formal goodbye?
Sure, and I was also going to go around the table to see if anyone had any last minute end of season questions for me before we sign off tonight. So what would you like, Kennedy?
So Kennedy just wants to offer up a traditional Irish travel blessing for all of our viewers who've been with us on this journey. And may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may Gaia hold you in the palm of her hand.
There
Awesome.
we go.
Awesome. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to the pack for any post-credit scene questions they might have as we wrapped up season 3.
So are you saying in season 4, Jonesy, that we're going to be werewolves during the apocalypse?
The Red Star heralds the first days at the end of times. And there actually is a apocalypse source book to go with Werewolf the Apocalypse.
Uh-oh.
So it's maybe not the.
Yeah.
Out of character, yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
I'm in
Out of,
danger.
out of
Actually,
curiosity, what's so bad about a normal guru having an assassin's blade? Or is it just kind of a high ticket item?
It just depends on who you're around and what tribes they might be. Some tribes will definitely consider it dishonorable, and because assassination is not honorable combat,
Right.
and therefore it could be considered dishonorable, and it could definitely get you, if you're already on the, especially if you're already on the wrong side in their opinion, as far as like, it's a questionable tribe, it's a questionable person, like they're metis, that can definitely go, and they have an assassin's clave. That's just like one more nick in the people we don't like column.
Yeah.
I'm
And
glad
so-
I don't have any prejudice against me.
There's a reason that Kennedy handed it off.
You
Not-
set me up.
No,
You son of a bitch.
no.
It's just like,
But it is very much not her style, which is much more traditional. I'm gonna get right up in your face and fuck you up. It's more a ragabash Killian kind of thing.
it really is. Yeah. I'd almost take that as a compliment. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't a setting you up, because it's not dishonorable to have one. You're not going to lose honor for wielding one. But it is
That's
something where it's not her style to use that kind of weapon.
No.
And it
Okay.
seemed more your style, because Killian absolutely is the type who will sneak up on someone and then shiv them.
Yeah,
It's
the most
basically-
honorable thing is to stay alive. It's great.
It's shorthand for I don't fight fair. And
So yeah, and so there are going to be some tribes, like, honestly, like if you were to go anywhere near a Silverfang court, they would pretty much have you under constant vigil, and they would have asked you to remove the clave before you walk in, because they just wouldn't trust anyone unwielding an assassin's clave, because, well, they're only meant for assassinating people that you can't take out in a fair fight, as far as the Silverfangs are concerned. A lot of the Silverfangs would be concerned. Shouldn't say all, because obviously there's always exceptions, but the Shadow Lords would assume that you're going to backstab and kill someone, because, well, that's what they would do with it. Preferably be a Silverfang. And so it just depends on the tribe and who specifically. Like, Victor won't blink an eye at you having it, because, well, he knows you're a right bastard.
Because he wants one.
He likes you for being a right bastard. I mean, he kind of like, yeah, he's obnoxious and he's kind of a jerk, but he gets shit done, and that's Victor's favorite kind of guru, one who gets shit done. So, yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, again, I wasn't trying to set you up. It just was
No,
like,
I'm joking.
style. I know, but
You were like, this piece of incriminating evidence would look great on Killian, and he would
Yeah.
use it to the best of his ability.
To be fair, there are going to be some guru who give Darren a side eye for having retribution, because they won't think he's worthy of it.
Well, to be fair, he almost used it to open a door at an old lady's house.
I will let you in a secret. I'll let you in on a secret. There's a specific guru named Gogol Fangs First, who will not approve of Darren having the clave. Having
that name does ring a bell or three in my head.
well, and there's definitely going to be people side eyeing Kennedy's clave.
And there-
what's your,
yeah, and
what's
they're
your
gonna be-
clave again, Kennedy? It's a silver one? It's a silver one you got?
All claves.
All
most
claves
claves
are
are silver. Yeah, they're
Um,
made of silver.
Yeah, they're made of silver, which means that a clave will do aggravated damage to anyone, and a guru can't soak it, which is what makes them so terrible.
Ah.
No, but it's actually the first clave that Kennedy had picked up way back during our Rite of Passage season. picked it up off one of the black spirals that we killed, and then I used it for the rest of that fight, and then turned it over because it was a clave that was dedicated to the tribe that became the Black Spiral Dancers, the White Howlers. So
which makes it something of a relic in its own right.
it is, and it's one of those things where it's like it's not inherently corrupted because it's old enough that it's dedicated to the White Howlers, but yeah, so that's why getting it back was a big deal.
Yeah.
So. Cool. Anyone else have any questions?
What does Dell get a clave? Or he should get those vampire Halloween teeth. That way he can just put them in.
I don't.
This about missile.
Basically, yeah. I mean, he
Kind of
apparently
true.
he just needs more means of tracking and annihilating targets.
If we get
what
you
does Dell
Owl's eye.
want?
I honestly haven't really. That is not a conversation that I know that Dell has ever really properly had.
Do you want a spirit eye, Dell?
No,
Just a spirit in your noggin?
that would be kind of uncomfortable.
It
Is
sounds
that in your
dangerous.
right eye or your left eye?
Oh, you mean the scar, the battle
Yeah.
scar?
Oh yeah, right. You do have.
I was trying to remember actually, and I can't. So now I have to open my character sheet.
Hey, you can put spirit in there. That's a lot of free real estate you're not using.
You can put so many spirits in this baby.
I'm getting a Cape Johnson vibe. Yeah, packing in the spirits by the dozens. Here we go.
You know, I'm sure somewhere across the source books there's some sort of like spirit stone bound to that's meant to be placed in your eye.
Okay, so yes,
One that would give witches sight, perhaps.
It'll be like those pirates from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Under battle scars, I have a previous version of me has typed Nexus Crawler ate my head and I kind of died a bit. Dell's left eye is missing.
Hey, well, we can slot something into that puppy. You're good to go.
The Eye of Vecna. Sorry.
Ah,
No, we don't want that for Dell.
Well, cool. Was there anything else anyone else had questions about, or comments or concerns, or just in general, like, why did you do that?
Did we
Alright.
figure out fully why Victor was at Valkenburg, or was he just on assignment to look around?
He is being snoopy. Yeah, he was. The Shadow Lords are not. The Shadows were not really allowed around there, and that doesn't sit well with Shadow Lords. And then the longer he was there, the more he kind of started uncovering that something shady was going on. So he was trying to figure out what that was.
That makes sense. I was always confused because I didn't know if he was there for his sake, the set's sake, or for no sake, and he was just
You
having
just
fun.
pass it through.
Yeah.
Yeah, primarily it was indirectly for the Sept of the Green. That was his explanation for it, but it was mostly for the tribe. So, well, cool. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you have something else, you think of something afterwards, we can always post it in our Discord or whatever, and share it with on our Discord with the community and stuff. So,
Was that lady at the house really just like minding her own business?
just a poor lady living in the house that she bought. Her husband was off at work. Grown kids are out of the house. You scared the hell out of her, being crazy Americans, and yeah,
Her
She was
door's
calling it-
busted. Her basement needs refurbished.
We should have told her we were with like Property Stars or something. Or what's that show on the History Channel about the people who go around and find artifacts in storage units?
Storage wars?
No, it's like they look for antiques in storage units and stuff like that. American
Her
Painters,
house
maybe?
isn't a storage unit.
Antique Roadshow.
Antique Roadshow, I think that might be it.
Well, yeah. If there's any other questions, then I will do closing announcements. For those who are tuned in and catching this on replay later on YouTube or Twitch, this does wrap up season 3 of Born of Rage. Next week we'll have a brand new or part 2 of our 2-shot Call of Cthulhu game, and then tomorrow night we have a brand new episode of Monster of the Week. It's an all new week, which means an all new monster. So I'm super excited about that game. Our new GM is doing super awesome on that channel, on that show. And then in 2 weeks we'll return with episode 1 of our brand new series, Tales of the Finest, which is a 5th edition version of Blue Rose, created by Green One Eden Publishing. So the players will be playing members of the Sovereign's Finest and their final days of training at the Royal Academy in the heart of Aldous. So we'll see how this goes. From giant werewolf monsters to happy envoys for the Queen.
I'm literally going to be a raccoon. I'm as small as I can be compared to a werewolf.
So we do keep the raccoon theme going. So that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
So-
no more Irish accent from me.
Means now I need to dream up, or finalize the one I've been dreaming up already. So
Maybe I'll get my raccoon an Irish accent. We'll see.
I think you could do that. Actually, you know, it should have one of them kind of broad, rural English accents, like out of Hot Fuzz or something like that.
So we're super excited about the new shows. By all means, if you like what we do, please comment, share, subscribe, all the YouTube and Twitch and internet things. We do also have a Discord, so you're welcome to jump over there. And we also have our new website that's up, which has links to everything. We do have links to our affiliate link for DriveThruRPG. So if you like any of the games we're playing, such as Monster of the Week or Blue Rose or Monsters and Mutants and Masterminds, definitely go ahead and check them out. Other than that, was there any other announcements anyone would like to make before we close up tonight?
Just a few things. We do have a contest going on right now. We have a short fiction and an art contest that you can find out more details about on UntoldStoriesProject.com. And we have a new episode of Something Something Dragons coming out this Friday. That's our Pathfinder podcast. And a new episode of Storyforge coming out on Friday that talks all about Blue Rose and the Age system. So lots of fun stuff coming out this week. Yeah, that's the only... I guess we should find somebody to raid, huh?
Shadow Legend.
Cool.
I think Vancouver by Night, since this is our last Werewolf stream. And they've been so nice to us.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep, and they're actually playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight. We will then be jumping to a 5th edition D&D Blue Rose mashup game. So
Right.
That'll be fun.
But hopefully this is not our last werewolf game. We're just
Yes.
going on hiatus.
Yes.
Have a good old break, and we'll be right back killing innocent people.
Probably.
That sounds like us.
Everybody
I think
Del
we've
has
killed
killed totally had it coming.
I was gonna say, I don't think we've killed a lot of innocents.
he had it coming. He had it coming.
This is the Chicago episode.
I'm glad somebody picked it up.
Alright, have a
Yeah,
great
that-
night, everybody. We will see you next time.
Night, everybody.
I